We have arrived in midsummer, characterized by heat waves and thunderstorms that bring the long-awaited cooling. In just 30 milliseconds, a single lightning bolt releases 100 to 300 million volts. The lightning channel heats the surrounding air up to 30,000 degrees Celsius. This air expands at supersonic speed, creating a shock wave that we later perceive as thunder. By counting the seconds between the flash of lightning and the sound of thunder and dividing that number by 3, you get the estimated distance to the storm in kilometers, keeping in mind that a storm front is never a straight line. The elderberry has meanwhile begun to form its fruits. The European ash is a native olive family plant. Its young leaves and fruits are edible, though raw fruits only in small quantities. Raw seeds are poisonous. Preparations of the leaves and bark as a tincture have astringent and anti-inflammatory properties, among other. Pollination occurs by wind. The tree supports 32 caterpillars, 3 hoverflies, and 2 beetle species. There is a risk of confusion with the poisonous rowan. The winged nuts mature in September and October and remain on the tree all winter. And here, the characteristic buds for next year have already formed. Here are the familiar fruits of the horse chestnut. The dioecious poplar is considered a pioneer tree, with the female trees producing the highly flammable poplar fluff. The Caucasian wingnut, or ash-leaved wingnut, is a mildly toxic member of the walnut family. Fossil records show it has existed for 5 million years, and it typically grows near bodies of water. Its juglone is highly toxic to fish and was historically used for fishing. The intact leaf contains a non-toxic, colorless glycoside. However, if the leaf is damaged or dies, the sugar splits off. Free toxic juglone is then created through oxidation. The tree tolerates no undergrowth from other plants. While the plane tree next to it has no problem sharing its space, the wingnut tolerates exclusively its own shoots and kills off everything else. The Caucasian wingnut is a neophyte from the Caucasus region of Turkey and northern Iran. Carl de Linné, 1707 to 1778, the Swedish naturalist and father of binomial nomenclature, owed his surname to a linden tree on his parents' property. His father, the Vicar Niels Ingemarsson, chose the name Linnaeus after the tree, which was the family emblem. His uncles also named themselves Tilia, similarly inspired by the tree. After Carl Linnaeus was ennobled in 1756, he adopted his new name. Linn is Old Swedish for linden tree, while Linnaeus is the Latin form meaning descended from. In the 18th century, French was the language of the nobility and science, which is why his name Linné received the E and the accent at the end. The flowering large-leaved linden tree, a member of the mallow family, is the indicator plant of midsummer. Yet, small-leaf linden trees and hybrids, as well as silver lindens, can be used in much the same way. Historically, assemblies were held, festivals celebrated, and courts conducted beneath linden trees. The silver linden is one of the last sources of nectar for bumblebees in autumn, which leads to them dying in large numbers beneath these trees. The large-leaf linden tree is called Tilia platyphyllus, which also means large leaf. The leaves are obliquely heart-shaped. The tree flowers as early as the beginning of June. Its blossom consists of a cyme of 2 to 5, frequently exactly 3 individual flowers. The leaves are 8 to 15 centimeters in size, of a light dull green color and soft with a hairy upper surface. On the underside of the leaf there is a whitish light down along the veins. At 10 millimeters, the nutlets are larger than those of the small-leaved linden tree. They are pear-shaped, 5-angled, and feature 3 to 5 prominent longitudinal ribs. The shell is hard and woody and can barely be crushed. There are 2 to 5 little nutlets attached to each wing-like bract. The small-leaved linden tree is called Tilia cordata, which means heart-shaped leaves. It flowers from late June or early July. Its blossom consists of 5 to 12 individual flowers. Its leaves are 5 to 8 centimeters in size, leathery and firm. The upper side is glossy and dark green, the underside bluish green. The underside of the leaf features rusty brown to reddish down on the veins. The fruits are small, round and ovoid, and show faint or no longitudinal ribs. The shell is soft and thin-walled. The little nutlets can be easily crushed. There are 5 to 12 nutlets on a single bract. Hybrids do not display all identification features. Hybrids do not display all identification features for either large-leaved or small-leaved linden trees. The burdock is heavily infested with black aphids. The presence of ladybird shows that there are no ants present to protect them. Grasses serve both as food plants for caterpillars and as food for seed-eating songbirds. The mock strawberry, a neophyte, is non-toxic but tasteless. Its berry sits upright, like a head on the stem. On the aromatic wild strawberry, the fruits hang downwards. Queen Anne's lace has formed its unmistakably characteristic nest. Numerous insects seek shelter in its seed head. Nevertheless, there are predators such as wasps, beetles, assassin bugs, robber flies, ichneumon wasps, or crab spiders lying in wait for them there. The yarrow displays its characteristic pinnate leaves. While there are still yellow and white flowers around, violet tones increasingly make their appearance from June onwards. There are 2 reasons for this. The plants store blue anthocyanins to protect themselves against UV radiation and heat, thereby coping with oxidative stress and drought. Plants like the globe thistle, Viper's bugloss, oregano, and lavender originate from sunny, dry, and nutrient-poor habitats anyway, where there is hardly any shade. For insects, such as bumblebees and bees, blue and violet glow particularly intensely. Thus, violet establishes itself as an intense signal color against the yellow and white flowering competition. This concludes our walk. Further information on the plant profiles can be found in the description. The ripe early apple is the indicator plant for late summer.